Okay, great. Let's take a step back. You had mentioned, I think you said, correct me if I'm wrong, that you were raised by au pairs.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you explain that relationship to me, like what they do?
Well, probably from the age that I was 1 to 12, every year I had a new person that was from out of state, and they lived with me, and they were like my caretaker, and I also until I was around 5, that was the person that pretty much raised me. My dad, when we were fine, he had a great job. He traveled all the time, so he could be gone for at least 6 months out of the year probably. My mom was a court reporter, so she worked full time as well. We were very well off when we were younger. Probably about middle class, a little bit over. So we got things that we wanted, but I was never spoiled ever in my life. I never usually got what I wanted. But I did have au pairs, so what they do is they pretty much were like a mother. They took care of me. They woke me up if I had to go to school. I don't remember ages from like 4 and under. I do remember one that was tortured me practically. But they took care of me. They got me up they made my breakfast, my lunch to go to school. They picked me up from the bus stop. They put me to bed. They made me dinner. They played with me. They did my laundry. When I was younger, I needed to help shower. They helped me shower. They were like a mother pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. They were just like that person that when your parents were at home, you stayed at home instead of having to go to daycare.
Wow, that seems really difficult. Do you think that, like, back to trust now? Do you think that relationship-wise with your parents, the au pairs kind of took on that role rather than your parents, and maybe that has something to do with trust with either your mother or father?
I think it kind of does, more on the mother side, because my dad and I did bond through soccer, so we had that connection every weekend, when he was home and not traveling. But my mom was just, she left in the morning, came home at night, I was in bed, hi, how are you? There was no family dinners very often, so that probably affected the trust issue maybe.
How do you feel about it? Is it upsetting? Do you feel like you missed part of your childhood?
I think when I was younger it didn't bother me as much because I really did like most of the people I grew up with. But now looking back on it, it's like I know I will never have that relationship a lot of people do have with their parents. Is our relationship good and dandy? Yeah, it's fine. Is it something like I come and talk to my mom about my problems? No, I don't. I don't think I ever will. It's just who I am have become because of that. My sister, on the other hand, only had them for about 5 years, 6 years. So she's more of a dependent kind of personality. So she doesn't really talk, but we're very different. So it affects, I guess, personality-wise.
Relating to that, how do you think it growing up that way has affected you as an individual, relating to character, personality, lifestyle?
I think that I have become much more independent because of her, and because of having the au pairs. That I grew up when I was much younger. Also with general my personality, I started watching my sister when I was like 11 years old, 11, 12. We stopped having them when I was around 13. I, figured things out on my own. I didn't ask my mom for questions. I Googled, I researched, I did what I had to do to find my questions, to get my questions answered. Probably the same thing with how I am very organized now. It's just, I guess, probably ends up because of my situation. But again, maybe my personality at the same time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm hearing that a lot of these instances and situations have really affected who you are today as a person and the role you play.
I think with most people it would affect them in a bad way, stereotypical way. Oh, I'm going to end up in drugs. Oh, I'm going to be an alcoholic or something like that, or do something negative or be a bully or something. But I think it did help me who I am today, but not to an extent where I regret it because I know that I am different, not as most people at 19, 18, 20 years older, partying, doing drugs, and what 19-year-old doesn't party, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that I put myself before something like that. So that probably has an effect of my past.
So you, in a way, take pride in who you are and what you've been through.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily say that my mother made me who I am today, like some people do. I guess it's more of like they made me who I am today, but didn't make me who I am today.
Indirectly.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, talking back on the subject of your father, do you feel that maybe all of this tied in, having the au pairs when you were younger, not really having the family dinners, early childhood things like kisses goodnight, do you think that may have caused maybe a sense of anger, resentment towards your father, just the buildup of those missing things?
I don't think it's more resentment for my father. My father is just, pretty much what I mentioned before, that because no more soccer, there's no more to bond on, there was no connection anymore, then we just drifted apart, so why wouldn't you call me, blah, 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 if you're interested, you should call me, you're the father. Maybe that's more resentment, but I think the other stuff like au pairs and working and being a mom is more towards her. Not that I resent her for it. I understand she took care of the family and stuff like that. She did what she had to do, did what she thought was right. She's taking care of the family. So technically there can't be resentment, but there won't be a relationship that probably should be there. The average family relationship, mother-daughter relationship.
Okay. And what do you see as average?
Probably being able to speak to your parents and stuff. Support. I don't know how to explain it, but just the being able to talk to them about anything. I wouldn't necessarily say I should. I don't like to. I'm more of a quieter person when it comes to that stuff. Also, there was not a big relationship when it comes to, let me talk about my feelings to you. Well, I didn't do it for most of my life, so.
Now, you seem very proud and independent of who you become, and you kind of take, well, from what I'm hearing, 100% ownership of who you are as a person. Do you think maybe in the future as a parent you would change your lifestyles other than your parents, or?
Yeah, because I've always known I wanted to have kids, and I want to make sure that they have the life that I didn't necessarily have.
Okay.
So, of course, I would like to not give them what they wanted, because I do think that me having to work for what I had to do, that definitely stemmed from being able to have the work ethic I do have. But yeah.
So in a way, essentially, somewhat negative turned into a positive, because look at you now.
Exactly.
All right, it was great meeting with you, Brianna.
You as well. Thank you.